they've got a day here in the state capitol. We started out here at sunrise when the light was coming through the trees. That was almost like an Easter sunrise service. So welcome to the Vietnam Memorial, the Kentucky Vietnam Memorial. My name's Jerry Cecil. My wife Marion over there, she's a dedicated volunteer too. Okay. This memorial is about respect, remembrance, and reverence. And for those of you that have been here before know what I mean. But what I tell young kids especially, if you don't have time to stop here, they just keep on going, because you're missing a good chance to really pay your respects and so forth. So the first group, we had an honor guard here from the VFW. They fired a salute. They did the taps, and the group put a wreath up there in the middle. But I want to tell you a little bit about the design and the purpose of this memorial. The purpose is obvious. Started by a group of Vietnam vets. There's one right there. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Knows the treatment most folks got or thought about that war. And this is not about politics, religion, or anything. This is about a bunch of Vietnam veterans wanting to remember those Kentuckians who made the ultimate sacrifice. The 25th year, by the way, we added those 5 benches up there and took down the rail. Because through the years we'd have people would come here and say, well, my dad or uncle didn't die in Vietnam, but he died of Agent Orange or PTSD. And so that one says, that granite up there says, in honor of those who served and may have died as a result of that service. And that sort of joins the whole generation together. The people you see names on here are those that died in theater. Okay. Helm Roberts is the designer of this. He's a local architect and a Vietnam veteran, or not a Vietnam veteran, a between war veteran. He was in the Navy and flew the old F-4s off the carriers. And he had this idea. He said, I wonder if I could create a sundial and a plaza. You create it in such a way that I can take the names of those who died in Vietnam and place their name on a plaza in such a way that on the anniversary of their death, the shadow passes through their name, giving them an individual memorial day, as long as we have that sun. Isn't that powerful? Yeah. Okay. So he starts out here behind the gnomon. We started out, we had these people listed as missing in action. And he said, as long as we have MIAs or POWs, we want to keep their name behind the gnomon so the shadow will never darken their name. And so that's why you see this slab here. Once we get them all, or once we get a date here from DOD, the remains have been found or identified, then we'll put their name out in the appropriate place. So these are dates that we got notified. The circle here, and all this is in your brochure, is from Ecclesiastes, but it really represents every culture since the beginning of mankind has believed in a cycle of life, long before we had computers or somebody to tell us what to do. And of course, we have to keep deer cams up here to count for the Chamber of Commerce, who comes through and who goes, just on numbers. But you'll often see people come here and spend 10 or 15 minutes at this one, or this one, or this one, and just go around and take your pick. And so this is kind of universal, these sentiments here. Okay, now if you move out here, come on out here with me. Kids will come here and say, that's off, that's not the right time. I say, no, you're used to man-made time. The sun doesn't care about what we do here. And so anyway, now, so I'll start out with the kids and I'll say, what's the longest day of the year that has the shortest shadow? The sun's really high in the sky and you're out of school. June 21st. Okay, so if you come out here on June 21st, the shadow will travel along this engraving here in an arc that way. Okay, what 2 days of the year are daylight and dark relatively equal? Equinox. September 21 and March 21. If you come out here on those 2 days and stand on this line, the shadow will pass in a straight line beneath your feet. Daylight and dark are equal. If you come out here 4 days before Christmas, 21 December, where the sun is lowest in the sky and the shortest day, the shadow will pass from that footlight, go through your feet in an opposite arc, and go out that opening. Okay, if we stand this stick up, that's nothing but a shadow stick. So if I bring this stick back here, see right now, But if I tilt it to the angle of my latitude and point it true north, then I can make a sundial. So you gotta know your latitude, and you point it to Polaris, the North Star.
Is this true north?
See this little X mark right there? A little dimple. See some brush cover. You put your fingernail on it. That's the index one. If that plumb bob doesn't hit that, something's moved. In Kentucky, that generally means very trimmer or something like that. And the kid was right.
Wow.
So the sun had warped that on the end. Created, if you come out here November 11th, 11 minutes, whatever we're doing, we'll stop at 11 minutes past 11, and we'll watch the sun's out. We'll watch the sun shadow go through that notch, which ties the World War I generation with this generation. Isn't that something? Now it ought to be obvious to you by now the way these polygons spread out the farther they get away from the gnomon, is that the width of a minute out here is much wider than a width of a minute back there, because this has more distance to travel. Now, anybody calculated how he does this? Pretty hard to figure.